The Dark Museum and the Purple Mystery. Ah, I wonder if the culprit is gonna be a purple person. I sure wonder here. But yeah, I mean, if anyone around here would be genuinely interested in me doing like some live streams of some of my other projects going on in life, like my vehicle restoration project or my trying to garden like a whole bunch of cool unique things that most people have never heard of, or like my bazillion tomato varieties that I'm growing, then let me know and I might consider it, because it's the kind of thing that I'll do anyway. Is the case. Doing the activities, not streaming it. We should ask around, never know when we'll find clues. There's a second sparkler. Nope, sure haven't seen him. A bolt of brilliance! One was made by E-Machines, which went defunct 11 years ago, probably wants to retire. E-Machines, son. Okay, I've got great news. Did you hear that Sparkle has joined up with Madame Grape? Isn't that great? Be interested in truck content. Yeah, I figured that you probably would be. So really, you can just take it easy now. No need for you to do anything at all. A bolt of brilliance. I've barely touched my truck for a decent while now, because I've been busy with university. Also, I've been waiting on my carburetor that, well, I sure tried. Imagine I'm always starts a second channel reviewing cars. I would not review cars. That's not really my field. I wouldn't really know that all that much. But if I did ever make, like, serious content on these other avenues, it would be on other channels. Because, like, I do a lot of different things on this channel, but it's all under the umbrella of gaming. So, like, it's all related. It's the case. I keep on thinking the speech bubble is over the thing. Sparkle, what's that? Never heard of that. Certainly not one of them trapped here. Now go home or something. Yeah, we need some Pontiac Vibe content. No one cares about a Pontiac Vibe. My Pontiac Vibe is in desperate need of a wash, as stuff has been melting. Like, there's been a lot of mud, and my car's really, really dirty right now. Yeah, Pokemon Pack opening stream 1. I've actually done that twice now. Nose of Truth. If you search up Pokemon TCG on my YouTube channel, you can find like 2 videos. Cracked mural. Interestingly enough, I have done that. Disguise mask rendered in stone, but it wouldn't really be a regular occurrence since I'm not really big into Pokemon TCG. Chest opening, let's do it. Used to be. Not really anymore. Treasure chest, let's open it. But yeah. I mean, I don't know how much I'll really do with my my Vibe. Because I kind of wanted to replace it in the near future with something with all-wheel drive, considering the winter's here. Much Pontiac Vibe content, to be honest. Surely the car has some quirks and features. Maybe there. If you browse around at like 2005 Pontiac Vibes for like used vehicles online, like everyone kind of says the same thing. I was like, oh yeah, it's great, it's comfortable, it's amazing on gas. You'll be hard pressed to find a car that's better on gas than it. But the climate control is not great. The AC and heat doesn't always work super great. But apart from that, they're fantastic. And from what I've seen people saying online, apparently they were really, really good until like 2007 or 2008, something like that, where I guess something changed. But the ones that are like 2005, 2006, people seem to really, really like. And I have so many kilometers on that thing right now. I'm like the 5th owner or something like that of that car, and it still works great. I just want something long-term that's all-wheel drive, considering the winters here. I don't want to be constantly putting sandbags into the back of my vehicle to weigh it down because it's light and 2-wheel drive. Just in case anything happens to me, I'm leaving this note behind as a guide. Center door open once exhibits with a shared element are examined in proper order. Sorry, I've shown impressive skill to get this far. I'm positive you can solve this. Good luck, Detective Sparkler. Message from the Detective Sparkler. She'll probably find them, or at least be a step closer to it past that door. Check out the exhibits and find any of the shared elements mentioned in the note. I mean, this is like a 1. Ancient Sparkle Relief. So inspect this, because it has the thing on the front. I saw 4 dots on another thing. I don't know. Okay. So that's a 4. Something similar. The shared element beneath some of the exhibits, huh? Yeah, it seems like. Well, it's not those little round things. They're just decorations and completely meaningless. I'll take this, I guess. Treasure chest, let's open it. Wow, there's treasure chests everywhere, and I just keep robbing everyone. Yeah, if you had one wish to undo one thing in this world, you would delete the Kia Soul, such a shit car. Blue crystals. Nothing of interest here. Let's see here. Move along, will ya? No. But yeah, I haven't really made much progress on my Fargo because I've been busy with things. But once it's this summer and I'm graduated and I can have that thing out and about when my carburetor is hopefully fixed, then I plan on putting a lot of work into it and just going ham on really juicing that up. Right now my carburetor is still in for repair. I haven't heard from the guy that's trying to look into fixing it up here in a little bit. Hopefully it gets fixed because I would love to drive that like to and from university at the tail end of the semester. I think that'd be really fun. So hopefully we get to that point. But if my carburetor, which for anyone that doesn't know, that's the thing that injects fuel into the engine. My problem was that it was cracked and leaking. So I could drive it as a fire hazard with it leaking fuel, which is not a great thing. So that's the kind of thing that needed to be fixed. If my carburetor gets fixed, then great, and I can just start driving it like right in the spring. No, I want them. Whatever. If not, then I'm gonna start looking for carburetors that are in Texas and Louisiana and area around there, because I'm gonna be visiting Guzma while I'm down there. So if I can just like order a carburetor that gets sent into like his house so he can hold on to it for me, and then when I'm over there, I just like grab the carburetor and then can just take it home with me in my suitcase. Because I can just grab like an old Dodge carburetor. It'll be the same as my Fargo. Just a different name. Bag looks familiar. Did someone leave it behind? I guess so. Help, I'm stuck. Well, I don't know how to get over there. I'm down here now. So worst case scenario, I'll get one down in the States. But I really hope that, phew, I just cleaned up in here so I don't touch any of the statues. Can I touch them? Oh, I can. So hopefully one way or another, I get the carburetor sorted. And then if I do, and it's like on the road and I can be playing around with it, I plan on going ham on it this summer and really getting a lot of stuff done. I need to fix the oil leak, which hopefully will be as easy as replacing the oil pan gaskets, but I don't know if it will be. I gotta replace the side window gaskets, which I think I have those. Like the little rubbery slidey bits, because right now the old ones are like super dried and cracked. So you can roll the windows, but it's really rough because it's kind of grinding the windows against the old cracked gaskets there. So I need to replace it with some nice new smooth ones. So I need to open up the whole door panel, pull out the old ones, slide some new ones in, and probably lubricate a bunch of the internal stuff. I need to fix the speedometer because that hasn't been working for a few months. What else do I need to do? I need to, like, what is on the must-do to-do list, not the for-fun list. There's a couple other things. I need to adjust the clutch. The clutch is a little bit funny, and you press it in all the way and it squeaks. I press in the clutch and it's like, and it's like, that's not good. So I need to do that. Maybe some other things here. Gold themic face statue. I need to get a new glove box. It's not like required. I mean, none of these are required, but are good to do. Because the glove box is rod through, and so I took it out because there's just holes in it everywhere. So I need to order a new glove box and put it in there so I can actually put stuff in it. Because I was just putting everything on the floor when I was going to events this last year, and this is a truck that's so old that it doesn't have like individual seats and then like a separator. It's just a cab with a long bench that you sit on, and then like the floor. So I was just putting things on the floor, which again, there's like no dividers or anything. So if I went around a right turn fast, all the stuff that I had stacked up on the floor would come tumbling down and like under my feet and under the pedals and stuff. I'd be like, oh crap. So it's like, I would like a glove box to put my crap in, is probably a good idea. Oh, I need to fix the locks. The locks work, but I don't have the key for them. The key was lost a great many years ago. That truck is just a large bench seat, and it's from 1979, America. Nice. Bench seats are cool. So those 6 things are like the really important things. And then from there, I can start doing more for fun things, like replacing the wood in the box, getting out some of the dents, eventually doing some repainting. But the moment that I repaint it, then I won't want to like do crazier things with it anymore, like putting tents in the back of it for gaming events. You know, I won't be as rough with it, using it as my literal farm truck that I've been doing lately. The Poto water urn. Whoops, no, do that please. So maybe I'll wait a while before I ever repaint it. I would love to put in like a Bluetooth speaker or something Like, it literally has a speaker slot, like the little mesh of a speaker, but it doesn't have a radio. Because back then, apparently radios were like optional things. Because they were like, oh, you shouldn't have to pay for more than you're using, so the radio is optional. It doesn't automatically come with one, but there's a slot for one if you want to install one later. Imagine vehicle manufacturers doing that today. So there's no radio. I don't know if I'm ever finding a radio. So I might just try to mount like a Bluetooth speaker back there that I can connect my phone to. And I think that'd be sick. Detective, it is I. Detective, what are you doing here? Clearly, I'm seeking the Detective Sparkler, just as you are. I've deduced that they are trapped in this very room. Alas, I've run into an issue. There appear to be 4 Detective Sparklers. I have 5 hearts. I can guess them all. I must ask that you find the real one. We shall meet again. But yeah, vehicle today will include radio, but you have to pay subscription to use it. Yeah, you're not wrong. Junior, is he gonna stick around and help? That was surprising. Didn't think we'd run into Junior here. I think the real detective is Junior up there. Anyway, let's talk to them and figure out which of the detectives is the real one. Once you figure out who the real one is, use a strike of intuition to confirm. But yeah, let's see here. That'll be a hell of an explanation to the airport TSA. What, a carburetor? Probably wouldn't be that bad, I don't think. I mean, you don't get the whole all-wheel drive thing, though. I mean, maybe in Canada you get it, but in your area you have 2 days this winter with more than 4 inches of snow. Yeah, it doesn't make much difference there. Less than a week with no snow at all. You have hopped up Fiat 500 through it fine, slowly but fine. Yeah, here where it can get down to like minus 40 below. It's like, yeah, it can be kind of important here. Vehicle manufacturers figured out that's cheaper to produce fewer options than to take them out. A lot of options like heated seats are alright in the car, minus the buttons to turn them on? What do you mean minus the buttons to turn them on? That's me. You know it's really me. I'm the real Detective Sparkler. Hurry now, use a tuition strike. That doesn't sound very convincing. I'm the real one. Real Detective Sparkler, that is. I'm glad you finally made it here. I've been through a lot since Madame Grape captured me. It's time we escaped. I don't know, man. I need not say anything. If you use skillful deduction to get this far, I'm sure your intuition will lead you to the truth. Sounds kind of convincing there. I'm the real Detective Sparkler. Get me out of here and we can solve this case fast and you can say deception. Once you're done, what do you think about becoming my very first assistant? Probably this guy. I need not say anything. BMW actually has a subscription service to enable heated seats. Keyword had. They got insane backlash for it. Okay, I was right. Sweet. Thank you. You've proven to be quite an astute detective. Wasn't a doubt in mind you puzzle out the solution to that problem. Now then, let's make our escape. But yeah, when it comes to, once I get like the important things done, when it comes to juicing up my Fargo, I would like to put a bunch of modern amenities in there. I don't want to make it unoriginal, like a dead end. We'll have to find another way out. Let's look around and see if there's any useful clues we found. Like, in terms of how it works as a vehicle getting me from point A to point B, I want it to still work the same as a 1953 Fargo. Really be like stepping back into the past when you hop into the thing. Nothing's gonna be a miss. Perhaps we should backtrack and look for another route. No, it'll be something here. But the thing is, I can't just... Have you seen the tragedy that is Tesla Cybertruck? I've seen it. Is there like some really bad thing that happened with it recently? Seen the recent lawsuit filed against GM Chevy? The phone app tracked your location data and sent it directly to insurance companies, causing multiple reports of increased insurance rates without consent. Wow. Amazing. But yeah, I would love to put a bunch of modern amenities into my Fargo, like a Bluetooth speaker, maybe like a battery pack that would be recharged over time to like charge things like a phone. Maybe one of the little display kind of screen thingamabobs with a backup camera might be kind of neat. Maybe like some LED lights on the interior that I could control through my phone to make like the interior glow different colors or just turn it off. I would love to have a whole bunch of stuff like that where it's like, this is just extra stuff. It's not taking out old stuff and putting new stuff in. The kind of thing where it's like, if I want this to go back to being like a fully original truck from 70 years ago, I can just remove those things and it's fine. Like without integrating them super deeply into the system. But the thing is, I can't use them on the same electrical network because vehicles for a very, very, very long time now have become standardized on 12 volt for their batteries. Like any vehicle that you see on the road today is pretty much always going to be using a 12 volt battery. That wasn't the case in 1953. In 1953, they were using 6-volt batteries. So that's a 6-volt battery there. So if I want to use modern amenities, like connecting my phone to it somehow, I need a 12-volt battery, is the case. That or like some really juicy converter. And again, I don't really want to mess with anything that takes it away from being original. So I don't really want to screw around with those cables and install like some major converter, upgrade the thing to 12-volt, and then have to change out a bunch of the important parts from 6-volt parts to 12-volt parts. And that sounds like a little bit of a pain. So one of the things that my dad had proposed was getting like a smaller 12-volt battery and installing it under the seat. Because the seat, the bench there, you can lift up the actual seat part of it, and there's a lot of storage space underneath. So there's space that you could install a separate 12-volt battery as a completely separate circuit. And then there's charge that up with like trickle charge from like a solar panel that I put on the dash or like the roof or something like that. And I was under the impression that like all vehicle-like batteries would have to be like, you know, those super massive chonking things. But my dad and I were at Princess Auto a few days ago, and he was showing me that there's lots of batteries that are a lot smaller that you can get for that purpose, like little blocks that are only like yay big. There's even some square ones that were like yay big that probably don't hold too much charge. But something like that, just like a really little battery like that can be like a separate 12-volt system that doesn't screw with the 6-volt system that's already in there, just leaving the 6-volt system completely original. And then if I ever want the entire vehicle to be completely original, then just take out this 12-volt system that's its own circuit and doesn't screw with any of the other stuff in there. I think it would be really cool. So that way it's like I'm keeping it original, but I'm also modernizing, juicing it up in such a way that it's not making any permanent changes. So that's what I want to do. And if I can start doing that this summer, that would be awesome. There's a lot of papers. I wonder what's on them. Oh, they're all blank. So I'm going to focus on these important things that make it like a good vehicle first. And then I'm going to start juicing it up. It's a globe. Do you think you can find the Sparkle Theater? I don't know. Tesla Cybertruck costs 100,000 to 140,000. It's made of raw, low-grade stainless steel. So low-grade that there's already reports of it rusting. The body is just aluminum with no protective layer. It's prone to rust so fast. Also, the door and hood was so sharp it can peel and cut carrots. There's no knob/button in all that one tablet. Tesla sells protective layer like Day 1 DLC. Tesla sells a $10,000 wrap service to color your Cybertruck because I don't offer paint as an option. It's a really, really big magnifying glass. Way too big to pick up. Ah, geez, 100 grand. For something like that, and I assume that that's USD. Even 100 grand Canadian, that's more than like any of the vehicles I think any of my family owns. The last time our 1949 Mercury truck was appraised, it was appraised at 80K. I don't think that my my grandpa's 51 Pontiac is that much more than that. This is just a normal everyday shop sign. And my Fargo still has a lot of work to go, so it's not worth a massive ton. Last time that it was appraised at like 11.5K, I believe. That was in May last year, before I did a lot of work, when it was still a decent ways away from being roadworthy. So at this point, it's got to be at least like 15 or something like that. It's model of the museum, and when you look at all the small details, they worked hard on it. And if I really juice it up a lot this summer and get everything like going really well, it'll probably be worth a lot more. It's a painting of a castle. I wonder who painted it. Don't know if it'll ever be worth as much as that Mercury, but it's a giant gear. What's it for though? I don't know. But yeah, let's see here. If you want to buy it now, it takes 14 to 18 years till your car's arrive. What? What do you mean it takes 14 to 18 years? Is that supposed to say months? Advertise the car as bulletproof. It's not. Also is widely unsafe for pedestrians. The whole front end of the vehicle under the hood is angled outward, so any pedestrian hit by the Cybertruck goes straight under it. There's a report that the Vel cover damages tires, and the height of the roof is like 4 feet off the ground. Should we backtrack and look for another route? Should we? But like, well, everyday shop sign. There's something else back here. Oh, it's a repeat. Okay. We should have returned to the room we came from, but how strange. Appears we've been pulled into some sort of mysterious space. There's clues around here, though. Maybe things will be slightly different. Sorry, I've taken a photo of this scene. It may come in handy as a reference. So yeah, I'm going to get this university semester wrapped up. I'm going to get that carburetor sorted so I can actually drive my Fargo again. I am going to go on my trip down to the south there. And then sometime after all of that is done, I'm going to start going ham on fixing my Fargo. Well, I'll do. I'll the museum, when we look at all the small details, they worked hard on this. Tesla claimed the bodywork was bulletproof. They backtracked on the glass after that announcement, and YouTuber jury everything shot with 9mm, and it went straight through. Another dead end. Turn to the neighboring room and continue our investigation. There's a big magnifying glass that isn't there on the, that isn't here. That was there in the other room. Globe, think you can find the Sparkle Theater? Also, the content goes right over my head. I might actually end up trying to get a decent bit of help this summer. There's a lot of people that I've talked to over like the past half a year that are interested in my Fargo project and would be willing to help me out with it. So I might end up enlisting some help. But one person, there's someone that lives out at the village that my family has a lake cabin at, and like he's a decent smidge older than me. He has lived there basically like all his life, and he is basically like a whiz with vehicles. He's made a couple of his own vehicles and like really modified a couple things. Like last time I was over his place, he was showing me how he turned in like a ride around lawnmower into like a vehicle that you could take like fast enough on the road. That was the case, and he really modified that thing. And there's a massive exhaust pipe out the top. He's very much a tech whiz, and it's a wonder to me that he hasn't yet gotten a job in like some major mechanics position, because like I don't know if he ever even had any formal training on it or not. Like, but he's just like one of those people that grew up playing around with these and just knows a lot about that kind of thing. And I've talked to him about my Fargo before, and he thinks that's super cool. So what I might do at some point is I might ask him the next time I see him out there, like, hey, sometime in this summer, would you be interested in just coming like and living here for like a week to work away at my Fargo with me? Like obviously I'd pay him for that time, and like so I just go out to the lake some weekend there, pick him up, come back to the city here, we work away at it for like a week, and then I take him back to the lake there on the following weekend or something or other, and then just like the two of us just go ham on that truck for like a week. And knowing him, it's the kind of thing that he'd probably be interested in, but we shall see here. May as well check everything. So there might be a week where I might just end up going ham if he's interested. Painting of a castle, I wonder who painted it, which like there's probably a pretty good chance that he would be. No on him. And that'd be really cool, just like spending a week together going ham on it. 2 rooms up here quite similar, a single door that connects them. So you'd be trapped between the rooms, or so it would seem. Though, so some clue as to how we can escape. I think the photo I just took up on the wall, I hope it is of some use. And then like focus on all the important things first and foremost, but then like if there's extra time, start doing some of the for fun juicing it up kind of stuff. That's a really big magnifying glass, way too big to pick up. As a child, run over me wheel 9000. I don't know what the fascination is with oversized trucks. Cybertruck front light wasn't angled to the road, so you have fun flashbanging pedestrians. You're not the biggest fan of electric vehicles, but that thing, Tesla Cybertruck, is completely horrendous American excess mixed with poor regulatory safety requirements and design choices. That vehicle has 1 or 2 redeeming factors, but they don't redeem a $120,000 truck with no damn paint and cheap stainless steel bodywork. The DeLorean did stainless steel bodywork better in 1982. Here's yourself the mystery. Well done. Let's head to the exit. Onward. Yeah. I'll much prefer having like cool antique vehicles in the family than fancy new modern ones. That's what I much prefer here. Also, I was thinking about juicing up Fargos. My cousin that owns a 1967 Fargo. Yeah, it stands out to me in some way. He got it from a friend of his that was selling it, because apparently this friend was selling it for a good price. And this Fargo already didn't have the original engine in it. Like, it was already something that was a little bit more modern in there. I think it had like some sort of engine from the 90s. So something a little bit more modern in that 1967 Fargo. So it already wasn't original. So he was just like, I'm just gonna go ham on like juicing this thing up as much as I can. So my dad was telling me that the last time that he was visiting like the small town that he lives in, and talking to him about that Fargo, apparently he's putting into his 1967 Fargo the same engine that my dad has in his 2019 Dodge truck, which is like this massive Hemi engine. Like, he drives a 3/4 ton 2019 Dodge, my dad, as like his main daily driver kind of truck. And apparently the engine from that is the same one that's getting put in my cousin's 67 Fargo. So there's gonna be a lot of oomph behind this antique looking vehicle. And apparently sometime later when he has more time, he was talking about potentially changing out the rear end with something that can handle a little bit more oomph better as well. Take it this way, Hurley. So when he has that whole project done, that'll probably be really fun to ride in. This antique looking truck that has something like very modern and very juiced up under the hood by someone that really knows what they're doing with vehicles, considering he's like a Cal Tire part owner of the location that he works at there, co-owner along with a friend of his there. So he very much knows what he's doing when it comes to vehicles, and he spends his free time working on those. So that'll be interesting to see how his Fargo comes together. I'm kind of looking forward to that. Imagine building a car in 2024 and getting compared to the DMC DeLorean and losing to it. Sad days. Says the Cybertruck breaks so many laws and warranties and is liable for lawsuit. I'm not surprised that most Americans, but you do actually buy cars with pedestrian safety in mind. Avoid anything tall or heavy, both for driving dynamics and for the safety of others as well. Yeah, that's fair there. Like, my dad's big Dodge truck. You step into that thing, and you're stepping so high above the ground, and you're sitting up so dang high. Like, it feels like I'm driving a tank when I drive that thing, and I'm decently uncomfortable driving it sometimes. Like, I feel a lot more comfortable driving my manual 3-on-the-tree 1953 Fargo than my dad's 2019 Dodge truck. Just because my Fargo's, like, so tiny. The vehicles are so much smaller back then, at least for things like trucks. You could find some boats of vehicles back then, too, but generally there was less stuff being shoved in, and vehicles were a decent bit smaller, and my truck is very tiny. So, like, it's very easy to maneuver and easy to get around however I need it. Like, I'm a lot more comfortable in that than the step off the ground, be in this massive tank thing that I'm, like, looking down at the ground in. So, yeah, I'm a lot more comfortable in the classic one. If it was a junior and you even got here before us. Yes. Yeah, it's just this way. We must hurry. But it's got a purple light on it, which means evil. Actually, let's take a moment before we do. I'd like to ask you a few simple questions first. What? I mean, sure. As you know, the sofa in our office doesn't have a single cushion on it. If you were going to purchase a cushion for it, what color would you pick? A weird question to ask at a time like this. But, purple would be nice. But yeah, I drive a Fiat 500 and a Honda Civic. Granted, both are sporty versions of the cars for your personal enjoyment, but they're both designed in such a way to be more safe and to get better fuel economy. And they have 90% of the practicality, if not more, than of an SUV. Yeah, nice practical kind of vehicles there. I'm really glad that my first vehicle worked out to be my 05 Pontiac Vibe, because that thing is like so comfortable. It has an amazing turning radius. It is a small vehicle. It is like the best vehicle on gas you'll ever see. Like, that thing lasts forever on a tank. It's a hatchback, so you've got so much space in it. I've slept in it before for Fragapalooza 2022, and like by laying down both of the back seats. And apparently a lot of vehicles, when you lay down the back seats, they don't quite go flat. They're still at a little bit of an angle. My Vibe, they go completely flat. You can make it a completely flat surface, which makes it great for storing all sorts of stuff, and also excellent sleeping conditions at gaming events like Frag. I love that vehicle. I think even if I do get a replacement for my car coming up here, I don't think I'm selling my Vibe. Not yet, at least. My Oma, like, she doesn't do any driving, and she has a 2-car garage at her place and is okay with me using the space there. If I get a new vehicle this summer that becomes my main vehicle, I'm just gonna put my Vibe there, and then it can become like the starter vehicle for my cousin's kids or something like that. Because it is a great vehicle. I really quite like it. Excellent. Next, if you're meeting someone at 9 o'clock, when would you arrive? Seriously, such odd questions, but at least this one is obvious. You're meeting someone at 9 o'clock, then you get there at 9 o'clock. I see. All right, one final question. What do you think about this grape character? Madame Grape, or I mean... Enough with these silly questions. We need to hurry to the exit now. Very well, we have all the answers we need. Now, purple is a good color there. Yeah, Sparkle is really acting strange today. Wait, maybe I should have actually gone through the door just to see what would happen. But yeah, I mean, I love my vibe. Like, it doesn't really need replacing too much. It's just investing in something long-term that I'll be able to use comfortably in, like, 4-wheel drive for many years to come. But the vehicle itself, like, it's not like it's breaking down or dying or anything like that and immediately needs replacement. It's still working great, despite having, I have no idea how many kilometers on it at this point. A lot. I think 260K? Something like that. I don't remember exactly. It's gotten a lot of use, and it still works fantastic. I love that vehicle. I knew it. Both the exit and the fake junior detective were deceptions. Exit stands before us now. Come, let us make our escape. Honestly, despite the reliability issues, you couldn't get rid of your Fiat. I think it's so damn fun and wacky. Luckily, you have another car to take on trips now, and you can reserve the unreliable Fiat for fun days. Yeah, that's nice and convenient there.
Thank you so much.
Did I get that ribbon? I don't remember. I guess not, because it was the guy across the gap that I didn't know how to go and get and stuff. Yeah, I like having my for fun vehicle, my Fargo, and then my point A to point B vehicle of my vibe and stuff. Brakes. Oh no, you have a second car. You can save it to fix it without having to borrow a car, lose your job. So yeah, you have the backup there.